Hello, this is Kiki. This is the first episode of Everything in Between, something I'm super excited about. Now, let's get right into it. Let's talk about what people don't always see, and that is building a business together. It's navigating marriage, everything that happens in between that. Super excited today. I have my husband with me for the first one. It's only natural.
Hello, hello.
So on that, babe, tell everyone, who you are, what you do, and where life currently has us.
That's a loaded question. So my name is Jose. We are the owners of a thriving company as of now. We are entrepreneurs. We are parents. We are in the stage of life where I like to call the growth stage of life.
Survival.
I wouldn't say survival, but definitely close to it.
A little bit.
But yeah, that's basically what we do, where we are.
Okay.
Where we are.
So what we're doing now and what I want to do is... obviously I know you, but I want other people to know you. So we're going to go through a couple different segments of our life. First and foremost, because we're in the thick of it right now, it's our first year in business. So let's get into the business start of it. So what's one mistake that made you money later on in life?
Am I allowed to say only one? Or
yeah, go. This is for you.
So I would think of the first one that I'm thinking is trusting in people that you think are supposed to do good by you. And you know the story, obviously, better than anybody else, but we are investors as well when it comes to real estate. We started our journey in our business world through real estate, and we flip a lot of homes, and we were doing a flip property with 3 units. We trusted a dear friend's father to end up doing our rehab for us, and ended up being a disaster, to say the least, right? The process not only was bad, but the reason why we made money afterwards is because we got into our business now, given that we saw how bad the industry is in that side. So we decided to go ahead and create our own. And that's basically a huge mistake that cost money then, but now we're in that field because we want to correct that field and completely change the spectrum of what it looks like to be a contractor in South Florida.
Right. Like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, right? But we definitely saw that there was an area of opportunity to make it better, within the space. And I agree. I think that was a hard lesson to learn at the time, both in not knowing the wiser, right, and just trusting blindly, and then getting the proper understanding now that we have of just not leaving it in someone else's hands, double checking, finding that there's a better solution, a more mainstream solution. So,
yeah, not only that, but just trusting, right? I think trusting was a big part where I think, maturing, that was years ago, obviously maturing and doing your due diligence. And even though at that time we thought that it was going to be it was yeah, we thought that was going to be the best thing we found. Yeah. And being one of the worst things.
Did we end up losing money on that deal? I wouldn't say... to sell today.
I wouldn't say losing money because we still have the property. Thank God we held it and we cash flow. But we weren't able to sell it because of that, So
the price, yeah.
Not only the price, but and our all-in doubled because of that. It wasn't
our initial plan. We had to pivot. So, what does success look like to you right now?
Success for me right now would be I want to be in a place where I can see my daughter every single day. Right. Okay. For those of you who don't know, we have a beautiful daughter named Camila. Yeah. I want to be able to see my daughter every single day without having to stress about any monetary situations. And at the same time, I want to be able to, build a foundation for her to be able to do whatever she wants. I don't want to guide her in any direction, but definitely have I think about it as an airplane. I want to put her on the tarmac. Is that what it's called, right? The tarmac, for her to take off in whatever direction she wants. But the tarmac is what I want to build. That's what I consider success.
Okay. So just get our time back so that we can spend it with her and have enough time with her to be able to love her.
And you as well, obviously, but.
Of course. What is your daily non-negotiable? I know this one, but what's your daily non-negotiable?
So we have 3 daily non-negotiable. You know this better than anybody else. I'm going to keep saying that because, Go. But 3 daily non-negotiable, and this is what we pray. I pray this daily as well, is health, wealth, and happiness. So you got to do once a day at least. You got to do one thing to accomplish one of these things. So on a daily basis, I wake up around 4:30, 5 in the morning to make sure I take care of my health. I go to the gym around that time. Then wealth, I work on my business throughout the day, but also the last thing I want to do is, not in that order specifically, but I also take care of my happiness, which is spending time with you and Cami.
Right.
So one a day, a non-negotiable to do one thing that hits those targets.
I think also, which you didn't say, but I know is important to you because you pray every day, is faith. So mixed in that, and always first is he gives me a kiss in the morning, and then we pray. So it's always the same order as soon as we open our eyes, and then we dive into the rest of the things that we got to do. All right, parenthood. So that ties into that. So I know as a mom, a lot of us experience mom guilt. Do you think men feel the same kind of guilt and they just don't express it? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest, my perspective, and you changed my perspective completely on this once I saw what women go through after they get pregnant. And, the not only the changes in the body, but the mood and having a child come out of you is, it changes your perception of how strong a woman really is. So I don't know mom guilt like you know it, or any woman knows it. But I think there's a form of it for any parent, right? Given that part of my success, I think, what I consider successful is how much time I spend with my daughter and my wife. Right. So I definitely think I do experience that, and I don't vocalize it. But it's not because I can't compare it, because I would never know what it is to be a woman, in this world, right? In this lifetime.
I think you do experience it. You talk to me a lot about. Like every single day you say, like, I don't see Cami enough. Like, I want to see Cami enough, no matter what we're doing. And obviously it's things that we need to be doing, and just for our mental health as well, even personal things while we're doing it. You're like, well, should we be with Cami right now? So
do you experience that a lot, do you think?
Absolutely. That's like a give all the time, a constant, like, so for you all that don't know our family dynamic, my mother watches my daughter. And thank God, because I don't know how we would do it otherwise. And I'm so happy that we have that option. Not everyone does. So she watches her from basically 9 to 6 or 7 or sometimes 8, right? If we need her to, Monday through Friday. And if we want to go on a date night, she will watch her still on the weekend. So we are super fortunate in that. And while I'm super blessed to have that, I do obviously miss my daughter. And I see the affection that she has towards my mom. And again, I'm so glad that she does, but you get a little jealous. Like, I'm like, I wish she like loved me that way. But my mom's house is like her house. She's 5 minutes away from me. She's in the best hands ever. So it is.
Sometimes I think about that too, because when we pick her up sometimes, or sometimes I pick her up, and it's like, she doesn't want to leave grandma's arms. It's like, what the heck?
She like slams it.
You would think that she just jumps onto your arms and like, oh, daddy.
She used to. I feel like she used to. And
she does it here and there.
Understanding things. Like,
but now it's just like her grandma. And it's like, you can't get better, more of a blessing than that. Yeah. We don't have to put her in daycare or nothing like that. We don't have to, worry about somebody else taking care of her. That, I think that's, for me, it's a huge blessing. But yeah, you feel a little bit of like, I guess, withdrawal from her affection.
Like that closeness. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. So fitness and discipline. This is a huge one actually for both of us. I think this is always something that's been part of our lives, maybe fall off for a little bit, but then right back in. But lately you're keeping me in track. So talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, you always do, but you're on another level right now.
You're supposed to say always.
So, I always feel like discipline shows up in every part of our lives. So do you think fitness goes hand in hand with business?
Do you think fitness
goes hand in hand with business?
100%. I challenge anybody watching, to any males watching, get a 6-pack and see. And if you have a business or you want to be somewhere in a financial goal or in your job or whatever the case is, I guarantee you, get a 6-pack or like get in the best shape of your life and see where you are financially after that, because it goes directly hand in hand. Once I decided that I just aim, I've aimed at this target.
Specifically this target.
This target. I want a six pack.
Right. Everything that came along with making that happen.
Yeah.
The meal preps, being on the deficit, going to the gym whenever you can, which for you is at 5 a.m. most days.
The only reason I go 5 a.m. is because I don't have any other time during the day. So a lot of people, I feel like, me included, I was thinking, hey, if I can't, you know what, I don't have any time to go to the gym today. So it's not about not having time, it's about making time.
Yeah.
And I feel business goes the same way, right? It's not about having time to go ahead and work on your business or, taking care of that extra client or doing that follow-up. Yeah. It's about making the time to do it. So that is one thing that I feel like go hand in hand perfectly. So that's one of my challenges that I said, I want to see where I'm at once I get a six-pack. And business is
everything has tied
thriving more than ever,
Yeah, and I would say, because for example, right, we always make the excuses of people, they create these scenarios in their mind. I am a huge advocate of going to the gym or doing something active every day. If you can, take a rest when you need it. But the last 2 weeks, I haven't gone to the gym. I've gone maybe once or twice, which is very uncommon for me. And I would venture to say that I've gotten less work done than when I'm actually going to the gym every day. Like when I'm creating those, I can't go to the gym because I'm busy with this or that, or what hour am I going to go, versus when I know I have to be at the gym, I know I need to get this done at this time. Like there's just so much more structure. I'm in a much better mood. Like my stomach doesn't hurt all the time, which is kind of like what I'm feeling right now. I'm more tired. I feel like I'm getting less done. So it just,
I just think it goes hand in hand also with your mental space, right?
100%.
Sometimes I'm in like in a horrible, I wake up like stressed out about the day I have coming on, because we might have, 10 consultations and there's 5 projects going on and I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. And the easiest thing is to sleep in, but I wake up, I go to the gym, and I'm ready to take on the days. It just puts you in a different mindset all around. So I think it goes hand in hand. Fitness and at least financial success, and your business goes hand in hand.
Okay. So now on to marriage and business, because this is what we're doing right now.
Fun one. This is a fun one.
Now, me and Jose have always, just so you know, we've always worked together. We met at Carnival Cruise Lines. We were personal vacation planners. I worked there for like 10 years. He came in. He called himself the rookie sensation.
No. They called me the rookie sensation. Let's get that clear.
He really was a rookie sensation. And I thought he was this cocky little thing, and he wasn't. Like he works so hard, and when you meet him, he's like a little teddy bear. But after that, we left. We went into other business ventures. Then we went into a fintech. We've always worked together in the same companies, but we have never worked together within the same business that is ours, which was always really a goal that Jose had. And being with him, there's no way not to have it, because you have this like gravitational pull towards, and you've done that with your friends, with anyone that's in your life. Like you knew you were going to own businesses, multiple of them, throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks. But now I have a huge passion for that as well. And I see it like night and day compared to when I finally left my corporate America or, 9 to 5 job back in December to now. I'm so much busier, and there's completely different type of stresses, but I'm so much happier. So marriage and business, how do you handle the separation of business and the marriage, right? Partners versus spouse.
There's definitely 2 caps you have to have on. And then I learned this obviously as I go as well, because no one knows these things. You're not born with these set of skills, but you definitely have to have 2 separate caps. That's the way I notice it. Especially, and from I'm trying to guide a ship, and I don't even know if there's water there, So that's the way I'm trying to, is the way I think about it, is I'm trying to build a ship. First of all, build a ship, and then guide it into a place where, it takes off, and basically, the whole business is on getting at. But the idea here is that sometimes I feel like I'm all business, where I shouldn't be all business. And sometimes you need to hear just your husband to hear you, not the business owner, or your boss. No, I'm just kidding. But that's something that I definitely struggle with, and I feel like a lot of people probably struggle with that, because when you're a business owner, you just want to make it, right? The unknown is the biggest fear, because you don't know if you're heading the right direction. But my worst fear at least, is to be running 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction, and that's any business owner's biggest fear, all right? But at the same time, you get sucked into that life where you only worry about that.
Right.
And that's where I feel a lot of people lose themselves. I don't want to become a gazillionaire if I don't have you or Cammy next to me, right? Or my family next to me. What's the point, you know? So the idea is to get there, but also wear the hats that you need to make sure that you come up with those foundational cores that make you happy at the end of the day. So that's why, the happiness tier on a daily basis, I think is very important. So wearing the cap of the husband and the business owner, not simultaneously, is very, very important.
So I'm going to speak on this part too, right? So me, and as far as my household, right, keeping the household in check, while you do help me, with a lot of things, for the most part, I think I do more like cooking, cleaning, those
100%.
things. But also I would say I'm home more, right? Even with this side of the business. So I think it's difficult for us to separate like, oh, today I cleaned the whole house, but I didn't really do as much for the business. And then the business side of you will be like, we can't do that. Like that has to be reserved for, and I'll be like, for when? Because it has to get done. And I don't function if I'm not in a clean space, or I don't know where to find the things that I need to find, or I don't have the Tupperware to put your meals, etc. in. So I think that part is something that we're navigating through now, understanding that they're both a necessity and very much important.
100%.
But delegating like the time, like where, when.
I guess the idea there would be just, that's exactly what, right? Putting the time for certain tasks at the correct place, right? So the way I see it is, if there's time if during the week it should be time for business. Maybe this is wrong. I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure out, right? Yeah. But if it's gonna be business, let's go ahead and go after it Monday through Friday.
Right.
We'll handle the house stuff during the weekend. But then during the weekend,
which is it exactly, right? So that's interesting.
Then during the weekend you're with Cammy, or if some family wants to come over and see you.
Which ties into
and it's like, when do you handle it? Right.
Because then I'm like, I don't want to do the dishes and laundry and this right now. I just want to be with her. Right. Or I do have to go to a consultation on the weekend, right? And then you have to watch her, and then vice versa.
Or open houses
and our family, right? Or our friends, to keep our sanity. It is the stage of life that we're in, and I think we're doing pretty well with it.
We'll just pray about it and figure it out. That's the only way to do it. And at the end of the day, I think everyone is going to struggle through this type of phase, and there's a lesson to be learned here somewhere. That's the goal, is to find that lesson. Yeah.
All right. What would you say? Well, let's do this. Well, I'm going to jump into rapid fire questions. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Don't overthink it. Just jump in. Tell me what your natural organic response is. Okay, ready?
Okay. Do I close my eyes?
If you want to. Mm-hmm. What's the one piece of advice you would give an 18-year-old starting a business? Go.
Starting a business, fail at the business.
Okay.
It's the best lesson you'll ever have.
That's funny. So one of the questions I had for you. Okay, well, elaborate on that. What is it? Fail in the business?
There's no better lesson. There's no school that teaches it. There's no amount of money you can pay to know what it feels to be at rock bottom, or actually fail at something that you thought was going to succeed. There's always an abundance of lessons that come with that. Yeah. That will, no matter what you do, your next business after that is most likely going to be more successful than that one. I'm not saying that one's not going to fail. Right. It's going to be more successful than that one, because you have so much knowledge from your previous failure.
Right.
You'll never be the same person after that failure.
So on this note, because this is fun, we've done a couple of businesses, or Jose rather has done a couple of businesses. I follow you blindly. I mean, I'll ask some questions along the way, and I might push a little bit, but I will, ultimately, I have always followed your lead. But I think this would be fun to just go through, and I can name a few, but if you want to just start from inception, like
business-wise?
Businesses that we have tried,
like
Airbnb, the Turo, like go through the businesses that we have tried. Scooter.
We did scooter charging. We went from...
Just pause right there for a second. So scooter charging, Jose, even down to buying a van so that he could pick up the scooters when that was like a huge thing. He would pick up all the scooters. He bought a ton of chargers.
Let me say the business idea behind this, okay? I don't want people to think that I'm just buying charging scooters out here. So when Lime scooters came out, I realized that there was a lot of people just charging these things, and Lime was paying $10-15 a scooter. So I said, how can I optimize that and do this really quick on the side? So I said, why don't I buy a scooter, put a generator in it, and charge 15, 20 at a time, and every van will get you, it takes about 5 hours to charge. You can probably do 3 rounds of them, and then make thousands of dollars. And that wasn't the case at all. And on paper, I think it made sense, but logistically, picking up these scooters
was Jose in my living room at 5 a.m. with 30
because they were in
scooters
charge inside the van. Remember that?
That we would unload and load at some point together, because that's around the time that it was like at night when people weren't using them. So you would go out like
I would go out like 2-3 in the morning. I would go 2-3 in the morning, pick up 15 scooters, load them up into the van, and then I realized that the van wouldn't charge the scooter. It would take a lot longer. So then I would say, all right, let's just charge them at home. And then when I charged them at home, it would take 5 hours. But then I forgot about the unload and reload,
that was
and then go drop them up, and then finding the scooters. You think the scooter's just there waiting for you with a golden light, spotlight on them. That's not the case at all. You have to go. Sometimes I had to hop fences. There's literally people that get these Lime scooters and throw them over fences to make sure that I didn't find them. I was for sure that we're just doing things. It was just impossible.
He brought me once, and I was like, never again. Like he would just pull up, and I would just like, not for nothing. Like, it's the city, right? There's homeless people, but there was like, he would just pull up in front of like a city of homeless people, leave the car to go find a scooter,
run
back like 20 minutes later in the rain, and then COVID hit. Oh yeah. So we had all these chargers.
Look, that's another thing. I'm so glad COVID hit. But that taught me logistics. Logistics are very, very important. It's not just think of an idea and it's just gonna work. Logistically, you have to think about things. Like right now with the business we're doing, it's not just get people to sign a contract. It's logistically how we're gonna go ahead and deliver that. Yeah. So that was a huge lesson there. But at the time, I thought I was going to be a billionaire.
Absolutely. So that's that one. Then we'll wrap it. We'll go a little bit faster through these. So COVID hit.
Turo. Remember the Turo?
Yeah, we had Turo.
So Turo, we just tried the whole Turo situation. We bought, 3 cars?
Yeah.
We first put our own car on there. It did very well.
It did. That's what.
Then the second one did very well, and then we bought the third and fourth, and then those two. That's when it started declining because it was getting closer and closer to COVID. Remember?
Oh yeah, so it was crazy.
It was about 2019, I think it was, and then from that point on, we decided to sell. What was it? 2 cars. We kept 2 of them.
We kept 2.
That failed epically. That taught me. Oh, Airbnb, that's another one.
We started too big. We got like an 8-bedroom house.
That's another lesson we learned. We don't bite more than you can chew. You don't even know anything about the business. Why are you buying a 7-bedroom home? We didn't even buy it. Right.
But then we were stuck with it for a year, even though it wasn't renting like we thought it would.
So remember, the first 3 months, it rented extremely well.
Right.
So we were like, oh, we don't mind. Let's find the next one. Remember, I was looking for the next one.
Right.
And then like the 3rd month or 4th month hit, and then it was like
money out of pocket. Like we were covering the difference to pay the rent.
We were short like $3,000 or something like that. Yeah. And
that was struggleless.
And then the second, and then I think the 5th or 6th month, it was like barely any rents. We were literally
some more trickled in there, right? Like you had done flips with your brother. I don't really remember that stage. Like, did you make money with the flips?
The flips, really? We made money.
You did, right?
But at the same time, financial literacy, we had none, you know? So that's another lesson that we learned. But after the Airbnb, we also let go of that. That failed epically. And then from that point on, we continued flipping. We flipped about 20.
The portfolios, right? Then that was more recent, but then we got into long-term property rentals, which is way more our stilo.
Yeah.
Fix those up. That's where we kind of learned the hard way that you got.
I think me and my brother flipped about 15 to 20 we ended up touching about 15 to 20 properties. Yes, we made some money, but we were not good with money to the point where we knew we had to reinvest it. We just thought we made the money. It was, once again, we made it, And then from that point on, we started getting into long-term rentals, like you said. And then from there on, I mean, the rest is kind of history.
So we've done quite a bit as far as trying to see things that work, and you're constantly looking into other things that could potentially work. So that went down a rabbit hole.
I think that's a bit of a curse that I have.
I think it's a blessing.
Because it's like just focus on. This is why I'm so happy I'm married to you, because it's like I get like shiny new object syndrome every time I turn a corner, Right. And it's like I feel like, oh, this can work, or I can make this work. And I just like the entrepreneurial spirit in me. I think just but I do think shines.
I think I've learned from you as you've learned from me. So like definitely don't put all of your eggs in one basket, where I was like, no, perfect one thing, get great at that. Right. And I do think that we do need to do that within the businesses that we choose to be a part of. But I think we hadn't found something that we were super passionate about that stuck. We were just trying to make money. Right. And I think now we finally have found something that we really enjoy.
Right, but the shiny new object syndrome that I'm doing, so it's the best of both worlds, is sticking to the same avenue we're in now. It's not like, in this avenue, and now we're going to go completely, something different.
Totally different. Yeah.
So it works very well.
Good stuff. Side note, he did also try the whole, not Bitcoin,
the crypto trading. I don't want to talk about that.
We're not going to get into that. This is a sore subject. All right. So raising strong kids or happy kids?
I think happy kids, because a happy kid is considered a strong kid in my opinion. Because,
for example, curious what you're going to say here.
Yeah, a happy kid. A strong kid, just because you're strong doesn't mean you're happy, Yeah. Ultimately, that's the goal for any human, is just to be happy.
Absolutely.
So I would think strong kid. Happy, sorry.
Yeah, I think happy kids are strong kids. Loved, confident, secure. I think that plays into it. All right, you're on death row. What would be your last meal?
Last meal. And me that I've been on a diet for about 5 months. Right now I'm sitting. I would think
including dessert. So like meal and dessert.
Okay.
And what you're drinking.
I know exactly what we're doing.
Okay,
I'm doing a beer bar burger.
Oh.
Shout out beer bar. A beer bar burger. We're doing the golden. And then we're going to nitrogen ice cream and getting 2 balls of vanilla ice cream with a warm chocolate cookie in the bottom. Remember that? Oh man, I'm gonna go there now.
Yeah, no, you still want that.
What's yours?
You kind of answered my death row meal. Oh my god, that's so hard for me. Probably some type of fat, delicious steak, fries, Coke Zero.
Yeah, but you gotta be more specific though. Like from where?
Okay, a ribeye.
From?
I'm not picky. I'd be happy at Chili's with you, just having the ribeye. I mean, take me to. What was the place that we went to actually for one of our birthdays? It's a Michelin star restaurant. It's amazing.
Oh, Cote. That was so good.
A meal at Cote, a steak.
That was A5. That's A5 steak, by the way.
Whatever that was.
So good. That was probably the best steak. Yeah.
That was years ago.
All
right, so that one, and then dessert.
Something with ice cream, because I'm going to convince you to go to ice cream.
But I'm a chocolate girl. I would be like, probably the same thing, because it's best of both worlds. Yeah. Ice cream and a cookie, but warm. It has to be warm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that wraps it up. I don't know if you want to switch gears on me. If you have any questions for me other than that. Oh, you know what? I lied. I'm not done yet. So what is next for you right now? Like, let's do short term, long term, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. What
1 month is we continue doing exactly what we're doing. We're growing the business. We're, mixing, like I said, wearing both hats, parents, 3 hats, parent, husband, business owner.
Right.
So right now, just grow the business, scale. I think we're going to put processes in place and, to make sure that we're scalable.
Okay.
Put the right people in the right place.
Yeah.
My goal for this year is to make sure that this company operates without us.
Yeah.
That we're able to leave it, because at the end of the day, if you're here, if you have to be in the business for it to be operational, you're gonna be you have a job at the end of the day, and that's not what we got into this for.
Tommy Mello.
Yeah, that's our Yeah,
Definitely agree.
he's great. When I get enough money, I'm definitely doing a.
Bring him on. He'll come.
I would love
We're
that.
in home preparation. He's on.
Home services, yeah. He no, but that 100%. We want to put the right processes in place where we're able to not be in the business for it to be operational. That's next year.
Like really be the the leader of the business versus
I also want to be. I never want to miss our gymnastics or soccer, whatever Cammy decides to do. Opera, singing, whatever. I always want to be there. Yeah. I don't want to. I always want to make sure. That's one of my promises to myself, is to make sure that I'm always there for her. So within the next 18, 30 years, that's a promise, obviously. And yeah, but that's basically it. Basically, grow the business and be the best father and husband I possibly can, and healthy too.
Yeah. Well, all right. So thank you so much for tuning into Everything in Between. If the episode resonated with you, go ahead and share it with someone who needs to hear it.